Thanks for taking some time to look at your assignments and see the feedback that I put in there. The Did You Know assignment is trying to help us frame why we have educational technology. And it really is about preparing our students for their future, not our past. So as we think about what skills students will need, many of you, I put the question in your feedback, what skills do you think students will need to be successful for their futures? And as we look at some quotes from a book called 21st Century Skills, Rethinking How Students Learn, one of the quotes that struck me was from a manager at Apple who said, "Any employee who needs to be managed is no longer employable." Those are skills that we can help our students to learn. How do they become self-directed in their work and in their learning? The second quote is that in the 21st century, the true test of rigor is for students to be able to look at material they've never seen before and know what to do with it. Those are those critical thinking and problem-solving skills that are so imperative to our students and the work that they will do once they get outside of school. So keep thinking about the skills our students will need, and we'll continue to work on those throughout the semester. I want to thank you all for your great participation in class last week. I was really excited at the end of class about how much I was able to get you to engage in the discussions and in the work with your peers in providing feedback to each other. I think that is proven in the gliding principles that you developed for us to help listen and encourage, to be flexible and prepared, to include collaboration and creativity with good time management and respect for others and things as we work together. A couple of the things that I want to highlight in the best hopes that come up is that you're hoping that the tech tools that we will be looking at will be relevant to your content area, then they will engage the students and add value. So I'm going to push you really hard this semester to try to find that in all the tools that we look at. As far as worst fears, there's a number of them, but the one that we really want to work on today is this group work where all members might not contribute equally to the project. Know that one of the projects we're working on this week is your Digital Citizenship Interactive group workshop that you're putting together. You're in a group for digital citizenship skills, either through respect, educate, or protect. And your group is going to develop a 25-minute workshop where you teach your colleagues what you've learned about digital citizenship. And because we're working online this week, your collaboration can take place face-to-face. Your group can meet and plan out your workshop, or you can plan virtually using some of the collaborative tools that Google has, such as the Hangouts, which we talked about last week, and or any of the Google Docs. Your group will be presenting on Monday, February 18th. So what I want you to keep in mind is that this is a workshop rather than a presentation. And what that means is you're going to be using interactive activities, that active learning strategies to engage your colleagues in the learning, similar to what we did for the search strategies. You weren't just sitting and listening to me talk about search strategies, but you were engaging in an activity that helped you to see the difference between the search tools, as well as how those different search parameters helped you to be efficient and effective in your searches. On the 18th, you're going to get feedback from your peers as well as from me using the rubric that's in Schoology. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. and we're going to look at a couple of things. Your workshop should be share all of the information that and answer the questions that were outlined in Module 3, where you signed up for the different topics around digital citizenship. And make sure that your delivery style incorporates some active learning. I've included a link to a document that has some active learning ideas and strategies, and certainly these are just a few. So I encourage you to continue searching and find additional ones if these don't meet your needs. We want your colleagues to be engaged in participating in the learning and utilizing higher level thinking skills. And we're going to refer to Bloom's digital taxonomy for that, where lower level skills are just remembering and understanding and applying. But are there ways that your students and your colleagues through your workshop can analyze, evaluate, or create things? This diagram has a lot of verbs that go along with the levels of thinking that students will be using as they're learning. And so use this as a reference to move from lots of our learning happens in this way, using lower order thinking skills, to HOTS, higher order thinking skills, where we want students to be engaging in a level of analysis, evaluating, and creating that helps them to retain and to be able to transfer the skills that they learn. So you will also be structuring your workshop so that every member has various leadership roles, sometimes speaking, sometimes supporting students. And remember that it's not a presentation, so you shouldn't be up behind the presentation station. You should be in and engaging with the students and seeing how they're learning and how they're processing the activities that you have set up for them. All of this focuses on those digital citizenship skills and sharing with your colleagues ways that you're going to model and teach students about safe, legal, and ethical practices with digital tools and the protection of intellectual rights and property. So the rubric is shown below here. It's a 4-point assignment for each of you. And if you have any questions during the week, I ask that you please email me while I'm out of town. I do have access to email and I can answer your questions. Thanks.